This is how you can set up a vocal trance gate that sounds like this, using only Ableton Live plugins in Serum. The first thing that we're gonna do is create a new MIDI channel, and we're gonna call it Vox1. This is gonna be where the actual vocal is coming from. The next thing that I did was grab Ableton Simpler and just drag it onto the channel here. Next, we're gonna find a vocal that we like. In this case, we're using a vocal from another Abletunes project called All on Fire, and we just dragged it into the Simpler window here. And this is what it sounds like. Fire, fire. You can use any vocal sample that you like, just make sure it's in the same key as your song. I've added a couple of effects to help shape the sound. I have an EQ that's taking out the low end information, fire, fire. A chorus to add some movement and stereo information, fire, fire. Reverb for a sense of space and atmosphere, fire. And compression for some consistency and to help glue the sound together. Next, I added the stock Ableton gate, and we're gonna come back to this in just a second. We're gonna create a second MIDI channel now and load on Serum. So I've done that here, and I'm gonna rename this channel Vox Trigger. And in the context of the project, we don't actually wanna hear this Serum channel, so I'm gonna deactivate it. All we're gonna do is use it to trigger the gate that we put on our first vocal channel. So we just have Serum on its default preset. And the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a MIDI pattern here that I think goes well with the track. We have our two parts set up now. We have our spacey vocals, and we have our vocal trigger. Here's where the technique comes in. We're gonna go back to our first vocal channel, activate the sidechain, and select audio from our vocal trigger group that we set up. Now as I pull down on this threshold here, we start to hear that the vocal now has the same rhythm as the Serum pattern. And this is how we start to get that trancey vocal gate effect that we were looking for. The next thing that you can do as an experiment is select this flip knob, which reverses the gate's behavior. It can give you some really cool results. So let's see what sounds better. So in this case, I like the flip version a little bit better. It feels tighter. After this gate effect, you can add any final effects that you want. So we've added some reverb to soften up the sound and some delay for additional width. And this is what we ended up with. If you want to see how anything else in this project was created, like the bass line, the bass plucks, any of the lead sounds, then you can find the full project called Life After on the Abletunes website. And if you like this tutorial, feel free to subscribe and check out some of the other videos or Abletunes templates.